CueSports International, along with Bad Boys Billiard Productions, would like to once again welcome you to the 2014 U.S. Bar Table Championships. We have winners side action here, I believe, between Mika Immonen and Sean Warren. Race to 5. Ken Shuman here in the booth. And thank you, everybody, for being with us. While Mika's racking them up, I would like to take another opportunity to recognize our industry partners that have helped make this great event possible. The Billiard Education Foundation, OB, AZ Billiards, Simonis Cloth, Diamond Billiard Products, the Magic Ball Rack, Kamui, Predator, and our newest partner, Cyclop Pool Balls. And on behalf of CSI, Bad Boys, TAR, and the entire staff here, we want to express our gratitude to those companies and their principals for what they've done to support professional pool here. Now this evening we are going to bring you the 9-ball semifinals and finals. The schedule is 7 p.m. semifinal, and that's going to feature young gun Skylar Woodward from Paducah, Kentucky against the hitman Torsten Holman, the reigning world 9-ball champion. And waiting for the winner of that match is SVB, and the finals is scheduled to go off at 8:30 p.m. So in the meantime, it's 8-ball action. Mika Immonen to break here in rack number 1, and he got kicked right into the side pocket. So Sean Warren with a ball in hand to open things up here. Remember, ball in hand anywhere after the break, not just in the kitchen. Table is always open after the break, regardless of any balls made. Groups aren't established until a legal ball is pocketed after the break shot. And it is legal to shoot a solid into a stripe or a stripe into a solid until the groups are established. 8-ball is never neutral. Can only be struck first when it's your last legal object ball on the table. It's rack your own, race to 5. It's call ball in pocket. Don't have to call obvious shots, of course. And you cannot win or lose the rack on the break. If you were to make the 8 on the break, you would have the choice to spot it and shoot or break over. And all fouls are ball in hand. If you make the 8 prematurely before your group is off the table, you would lose the game. If you were to make the 8-ball and foul or scratch, you would lose the game. Jump the 8-ball off the table on any shot other than the break shot, you would also lose the game. And the last way to lose would be if you made the 8-ball at the same during the same shot as you pocketed your last object ball. Any other foul on the 8-ball is just ball in hand. The easy way to remember all that, folks, and you don't have to remember all those detailed rules, as long as the 8-ball is still on the table, the game is not over no matter what happens. So Sean Warren elected to take the stripes, opened up with a combination. And I regret to tell you that I really don't know anything about this gentleman. But obviously, he's still on the winner's side, several rounds into the 8-ball division. And I don't know that he's played the likes of Mika Immonen so far. Truly one of the great, great modern-day players, Mika Immonen. And most assuredly, he will be joining the greats of the game in the BCA Hall of Fame. I'm going to predict either next year or the year after. He came awfully close this year. I'm fortunate enough to be part of the U.S. Billiard Media Association, which does enable me to vote for the Hall of Famers. And this year, in an extremely tight race between Mika and Jeanette Lee, Mika was edged out by the slimmest of margins in the vote for the greatest player category. but he has, and that was his first year on the ballot too, because you, in addition to having the necessary accomplishments, you also must be at least 40 years old to be eligible for induction in the greatest player category. So in his first year on the ballot, he came ever so close. So it would be hard to imagine him not making it next year, or for sure the year after. And if he never wins another tournament in his life, he belongs in that group. But he's basically in the prime of his career, and I'm sure you're going to see a lot more major championships next to this man's name. You know, Mika was pretty much on top of the pool world back in 08 and 09 when he won his 2 U.S. Opens back-to-back and had really a tremendous shot to win a third in a row. I think he came in third the third year. But he's also got a World 9-ball title to his credit, a World 10-ball title. He's a World Straight Pool champion. But he had a little bit of a lull there after that second, that third U.S. Open, and then in 2010 and 11, we just didn't see his name up at the top of the leaderboards as we were used to. But he came back with a vengeance in 2013 by taking the Ultimate 10-ball championship last year in Tunica with just an absolute star-studded field. He went all the way through the entire event undefeated, beating Wong Kan in the finals. And again, part of Team Europe Mosconi Cup champions is once again. From Helsinki, Finland, living around New York City area now for the last 8 or 10 years, playing with a Mez Q. He has been for quite some time now. And also a 2-time former Mosconi Cup MVP. Up to this year, he was the only man to accomplish that. Niels Feyen is now also a 2-time Mosconi Cup MVP. And they're the only 2 men in history to have done that. Mika was the youngest player ever to be ranked #1 on the Euro Tour. He was 20 years old back in 1992 when he achieved that #1 ranking on the Euro Tour, youngest ever to do so. And he's also a 2-time Billiards Digest Player of the Year. So lots of credentials, lots of accomplishments, lots of hardware in his trophy room, that's for darn sure. And he is a stone-cold killer at the table. So here he takes the first rack. I can also tell you that we do know what our 4 o'clock match is going to be. And it's going to be a 1-loss side match featuring Eagle Eye, the Glasgow gunslinger Jason Shaw, against Carlo Biado. Yeah, so 4 o'clock it's going to be Shaw and Carlo Beato. That's a one-loss side match. And then we'll have another match for you at 5:30. That'll be our last 8-ball match of the day. And then we're going to bring you the 9-ball semis and finals beginning at 7 p.m. So please stay with us for the rest of today's programming. And we will crown the 9-ball champion before we go off the air tonight. Mika with ball in hand here. Kind of a little bit of a messy layout with the stripes. Solid certainly is the group to take, and the 6-ball is the ball to shoot first because it's the only one that's going to have a little tough access. Got a little straight here. Going to have to take the 3 next because he can't get the cue ball out much anywhere. And could play a stop shot here. If it's straight enough, maybe hold for the 4, or he can float down table. He can also play for the 5 in the side next. I really like this. Get the 4 out of there, clears the path for the 8-ball, provided he's got room, and I think he does. But the 8 only has the lower right corner pocket, as you can see. And I think he'd like to stun this over past the side pocket for the 1-ball, and then the 7 in the side will lead him to the 8 in the corner by where he's standing. Well, he got a little steep on this. I don't know if he can hold this for the 7 in the side now. You can clearly see the 7 does go in the corner, and that's probably what he's going to wind up playing for. But he may have overhit this. No, it stopped, I think, just in the nick of time. And he'll draw this to about where it is right now. Oh, he had an angle. He didn't even have to do that. And this for a quick 2-0 lead, and he will be breaking off in rack number 3. $221 men in the 8-ball division here this year. That's our second highest total since we've gone to the 3-division format. And 51 women playing in the 8-ball division as well. I think that's also the second highest total ever. I think we were at 55 or 58 either last year or the year before. If you weren't with us last night, I want to remind you that Denis Orcullo successfully defended his U.S. Open 1-pocket championship with a 5-2 victory over the South Dakota kid. Denis played really well. Shane's game was quite a bit below the standard we're used to seeing. And Mika has a mess on his hands here. You certainly would like the stripes here. And there's that 1 stripe. It's the 9-ball in between that cluster of 4. He could go into it maybe right now by shooting the 13 and dragging the cue ball up there, but you got to get into that with some power to get that 9 out of there. And you need to have a bit of an insurance ball as well. He may go into them right now, and then he'll have the 13 as a potential insurance ball. And that's exactly what he did. He can make the 13. Don't know about the 9 in the side. I don't think it passes the 5. But the 9 will go in the corner where the 13 is. but might have to come with like 3 rails short here. He's looking to see if the 10 goes in the side. He can always bank the 10 cross side too. But he wants to move the 10. Oh, that's pretty tough to scratch in that side pocket with all that stuff there. The problem Sean has, of course, is he has no pocket for the 8 ball. Even if he runs his group, he would have to bank the 8 somewhere. And if he's going to try to run out, he best start with the 7 ball. If he has the touch to do it, he could play the 7 and draw the cue ball just gently enough to bump the 4 a little bit more in front of the side. He'd then have the 2 ball, which would connect him to the 3. And then, of course, he would need to get underneath the 6 and the 1, but he's decided to do this instead. Leaving that 7 there with ball in hand now, I'm not sure is the best choice. But at the same time, Mika still has that 10 ball in a tough spot. Well, if he plays the 5, he's going to move the 9, and he's also going to cover up the 7. But it really looks like about the only ball he can play. Oh, he was able to miss the 9. Well, that's pretty good. Now he's going to have to shoot the 4-7. The 8 might squeeze in there off the 11. But the problem here will be controlling the 4 ball and the cue ball. I think if I was at the table here, I'd shoot the 2 in the corner, then I'd shoot the 6 in off the 11, get the 11 out of the way, and then go 4-3-8. But he can also do it the other way too. He can play 3-4-2-6. And he overhit that a bit. And now he's got a very difficult shot. He's got to shoot the 6 in the side or the 4 ball. Looks like it's the 4 ball. Jumped up on it a little bit. That's just nerves, I think. He might not know about all of the credentials Mika has, but if he knows who he is, that's going to come into play a little bit here. It's hard not to be intimidated when you're playing a future Hall of Famer in front of the TV cameras. Wonder if Mika's going to move the 8 here or not. No. Wanted to stay there to shoot the 10. And as long as he has an angle on the 9, he'll be able to get back down there for the 15. Unless he does it now, and that's good too. Uh-oh. That's pretty surprising to see Mika miss a shot like that. He had plenty of room. The only fortunate thing is the 10's blocked a bit of that pocket for the 4. But Sean should be able to, I should play the 2 in the side and just come 3 rails around the 4 for the in the other pocket. The 6 now clearly passes the 8. And this is going to be his best chance to win this rack right now. Oh boy, he kind of jumped up again. I think he's still awful nervous. His speed was good, his shape was good, but he jumped up on the shot and he didn't hit the cue ball as cleanly as he wanted to, and Mika will make him pay for this. I'm sure Mika realizes, and this is with no disrespect to Sean Warren, but I'm sure Mika realizes that his opponent really is not going to present him with a major threat. I don't know if Mika just relaxed on that 10 ball or just didn't hit it good. But that was Sean's best opportunity to get on the board, and at least he's got the break here in rack number 4. See Mika over there trying to loosen his arm up a little bit. Did kind of look like he just didn't get through the cue ball well on the 10. Kind of sometimes when you do that, it sort of goes thud. Sounds like a skid, although it isn't. It's just not an ideal hit through the cue ball. All right, let's see if he's going to hit the second ball. Usually when you break from there, that's what you do. Yeah, he did hit the second ball. Made 2 balls already. Doesn't have a whole lot to begin with here. If he wants solids, he's got to shoot the 1. And if he wants stripes, he's probably got to shoot the stripe on the rail near the 8 ball there. And I think that would be the right choice, because all the stripes have pockets. Let's see if he can hold his nerves here, because they're all sitting right there. All the balls are down this end of the table after this shot. Got a little flat here. See if he kind of has a, almost like his head is kind of bobbing a little, moving. Even on his warm-up strokes, it's probably just his style, but look at his head move up and down as he goes with his eyes from object ball to cue ball. All right. Now he just has to make sure he misses the 6 with the cue ball. This is like just a little bit above center left and 2 rails. Oh boy. I think he rushed it. His nerves got him again. Mika with not much really good to look at here. He might just play safe, or he might cut the 1. Nothing much here now for Mika. Maybe the 4 ball. If not, he's got a nice safe. He can roll it right up on the 6. The 7 will block Sean from hitting the 13. Or he could come off the edge of the 3 and also be safe. He's called the 4 ball. If I know my opponent's not a real threat, I would probably play safe here. But I don't think Mika cares one way or the other. And that's not going to be too good either. He can back cut the 2. He'll have to draw the cue ball a little bit, and he actually may even wind up under the 7 and the 6. And that's what he did. I think he knew he'd be there even if he missed. But he's not going to give his opponent the turn at the table again. Just that fast, it's going to be 4-0. I feel a little bad for Sean that he didn't get out that last game when he had a nice opportunity to do so. But it's not easy when you look over there in that corner and you see somebody sitting there that you know is world championship caliber. All right, breaking for the match, Mika Immonen. Nice square hit. You could tell by the sound how solid he hit that 1 ball. Dropped a couple. Would like to shoot solids. Let's see if he's got a solid he can shoot. Won't see one right off the bat. And of course, the reason solid's the preferred group is the 13-14 up here on the left. The only solid he can shoot is to cut the 6 ball. But he's going to go ahead and take the stripes. And this will be the shot here to open up these 2 that are married to each other here. And hopefully his insurance ball will be the ball by the side pocket. Well, it's going to be a little tough, but he does have the 9. And you would expect him to finish this out as long as the 3 doesn't get in the way of eventually pocketing the 12 or running into the 12. But if he can see the 13, then it's going to be real easy from here. He wants to save the ball by the side as the key ball before the 8. So straight in on the 9, follow forward, play the 12, slide up between the 3-1. 14 in the side, or 15 is it in the side, and game, set, and match. So a quick victory for the Iceman from Helsinki, 5-0. He proceeds ahead. Our next match is in just about an hour for you. It's going to be Jason Shaw and Carlo Beato. One lost side action coming up at 4 o'clock. So stand by for that, everybody. In the meantime, we'll get the A-team over here to pull something up on the loop for you for a replay. This is Ken. We'll be back in an hour.